little different feel today than it was a week ago. Obviously, a win takes care of that. Good to get back on track. Good to these guys to bounce back. They had a really good week of practice last week, and to come back out after obviously a disappointing loss and get back on track. And while we weren't perfect, we did do a lot of good things, and very, very pleased to see our guys respond the way that they did. Be able to run the football, take some pressure off Taj. That was the game plan going in, and while we'd like to have scored, every time we get inside the 5-yard line, especially on first down, it didn't happen that way. Give them credit; they did some things that we haven't seen, but we had seen this year. But still able to come away with points, and was definitely a plus. Thought we moved the football very well, like I talked about on Saturday, didn't really have any intentions on running Taj going into the game plan, but had to as the game progressed. So thought they did a good job fighting back through some adversity.
Looked like Giff and David were back in there more than we had seen probably.
Yeah, Giff played the majority of the game, played well, did some good things. So I was pleased with that. David Beasley, he and Kalon, I don't know the exact snap count, but it was I know David was in there quite a bit and did some good things. I mean, we did. We anytime you can run the football for 200-something yards, obviously you're doing something good, and those guys did a good job of that, and was very pleased to see that.
Do you figure that's just going to be a thing the rest of the season, or do you feel like you're close to getting 5 solid guys?
Well, you hope that you're getting close. We've definitely got some guys that we feel comfortable with. That've gotten ample playing time this year, and and they're getting better. I do know that Shaq is getting better. Over the last couple of weeks, he's gotten better, and some of his run blocking. And both Kalon and David have almost split in time. So yeah, we obviously want to get those guys and get them in there, but we want to continue running the football. I think that's as key as anything right now, helping Taj and taking all the a lot of pressure off him.
How when a defense knows you're not going to run Taj, how are they defending you different? How's that?
Well, I mean, they were basically, what we call bared up, and they were gap sound and house zero inside the 5-yard line. They were bringing everybody, and so you got to have an extra, we call an extra gap in our pocket, which is the quarterback, and so those are some things, especially on third down. Now first and second down, no, they weren't. They were exactly what we had, what we thought.
Were the issues more what Maryland was schematically doing to you, or was it your offensive line just not getting it?
No, I thought the offensive line did a good job. I did. And there was a couple of occasions there that we could have, we missed a gap or missed a run, or maybe we could have cut back or cut over the top. But and again, give them credit.
When you look at the red zone positions in the first half, was there anything that you saw on film that wasn't working for you guys, particularly, or is it more what Maryland was doing?
No, I mean, it was, we had some guys that were open. We had some underneath cutters coming that we didn't hit. We had the ball down there and flipped it out to Hot Rod on one occasion, and they were in a man look, and we came up short of the first down. No, I mean, like I said, first and second down, we pretty much knew exactly what was going on. Third down, they did a little bit more zero blitz on us than we've seen, but that's been part of it.
Is red zone a concern for you at all? I mean, last year I think you were first in the nation. This year, I believe, like 58th.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, anytime you get inside the red zone, you want to come away with points. And a year ago, we did that all but 2 times. And so, sure, I mean, that's what you do. And so no, that's an area that we got to continue to emphasize and we got to get better at.
7 straight victories and games away from Death Valley. Are you seeing a different mindset from last year and this year, and just the squad's whole approach to road games?
Well, I mean, our guys obviously, they're playing well, and I mean it's tough to win anywhere, but to go out and win on the road and win in Maryland, and I think we all know that the history that Clemson's had up at Maryland, it's been tough to win up there. Period. I know it was 2 years ago. We had to battle 18 points down twice, but to see our guys go out with a mindset that they have of playing well on the road and winning on the road, that's a great accomplishment for these guys. And knowing that's 7 straight, is that what you said? That's a huge task right there. But that's what we do, and that's what these guys do, and really more impressive after you come off of a loss that you had the week before.
When you made the decision to scale back the offense, was that primarily a result of trying to get Taj more confidence, or was it a simple result of not protecting the ball in general? Kind of a reflex?
No, it really didn't have anything to do with protecting the ball. I mean, it had nothing to do with that. It was more so of just, kind of trying to take a little bit of pressure off Taj, and so that was the majority of it. Wanted to just help him out and just let him feel a little bit more comfortable and going back and even though had been pretty simple, maybe take some of the window dressing off of it, so to speak.
At times, has he played in 2013 like there's more pressure on him than maybe he did last year?
Well, I mean, we all know Taj, and I think no one puts more pressure on themselves than Taj. Taj wants to be perfect in everything he does, and it's been my big emphasis to Taj is to, you came back, you made the choice to come back, and you need to have fun. You need to go out and play and have fun and let it work itself out. Let everything work itself out, and go have some fun and smile and let's play and let's be Taj Boyd. And that's been that was kind of our big emphasis this past week, and just go relax and go play. And he's and I thought he played well. I did. He'll be the first to tell you that hey, he missed a few here and there, but man, the guy got out there and executed and got us going, and he ran the ball when he had to run it, and was very pleased with his performance. And again, we're all going to continue to get better.
Well, the offensive line for the first 8 games since the Georgia game, has it gotten worse, better, or somewhere?
Well, I think after you look at last week and being able to run the football for 235 yards, I think that you have to say those guys are getting better without a doubt.
The touchdown before the half was critical. And I wondered, was Jordan Leggett in there specifically? Was it just his turn, and then would we see him more going down the road?
No, you're going to see Jordan more. You are. You're going to see Jordan more. Jordan has, again, he's a freshman. It's kind of battled what a lot of the freshmen go through. He's a young man that will continue to mature both mentally and physically. Know that this is a game in which you have to bring it every day, even at practice, and so that's our challenge with him. Got a unbelievably talented, but we did have a few plays set up just for him. We did to get him more involved and get him going, but he came in and played well. Still had some mistakes. Got to work on him being a little bit more physical, but he did show some promise, and we all know he can catch the football and he can run like the wind. So
is he maybe the most sure-handed of those guys? And how is he on route running?
Well, I mean, I think right now, I think you look at everything, and you go back to the start of the year. I think you look, Stanton Seconder was as valuable to us as we don't beat Georgia without the catch he makes. And I think he's kind of lost his confidence a little bit. He's a great player. We're lucky to have him, and he'll be fine. That's one thing about Stanton is he never gives up, and he was right there, the other night, and he was cheering those guys on, and he knows, and So he'll be just fine, and he'll be back, and he's gonna make some big catches for us before this year's over with. So he and Jordan provide the mismatch that we look for, and with their speed and their athleticism. So yeah.
What has Taj told you about his knee, and is that a concern in practice going forward?
Well, I mean, no, not really. I mean, obviously he's been in with the trainers and was in with the trainers. He's just he's like a lot of guys right now at this point in time in the season. Everybody's kind of bruised up a little bit, but he's a competitor, and he's going to play, and he'll practice this week, and heck, he's going back to his home state, so he's excited about that, and he's already told me that he's excited about going back home, and so he'll be fine.
So if the situation calls for it, you'll run him?
Oh no, he's it's on. Yeah, no, we're running Taj. Taj is a part of this thing now. Yeah.
Maryland had been pretty good against the run this year. What do you kind of attribute the ability of you guys able to kind of get the running game going? Was it just a matter of kind of emphasizing it and sticking with it?
Well, I think our guys up front did a good job in helping take the pressure off Taj. I also think that through the game planning process and being able to get them outflanked and being able to take some just take what they give you, basically what we did. I mean, and Hot Rod had some really good runs, and maybe when something wasn't there, he was able to roll out the back door or the front door and pick up some positive yards. So that was good to see for Hot Rod.
What have you seen out of Virginia's defense so far? They look pretty active in causing.
Yeah, they are very active. They're good in the pass defense. They've been very active with that. They've been active in batting balls down. That's one of the main things. Wow, it really stand out to you is the number of passes they bat down. Very big up front, and rangy. 6'7", 6'8". Up front, and quick off the edge. They've got one of the linebackers is one of the as good a player as we've seen this year. I'm very impressed with the way he plays, and he's definitely you better know where that guy is at all times. So
you addressed the interception on Saturday. I missed it, but what happened on the interception?
Well, they were in cover 2, and we had the back railing up the sidelines, and really in a situation like that, you have your outlet, which is your hot throw underneath. They brought pressure, and the underneath cutter, Sammy, was there. Anytime they bring pressure in the middle, we had an automatic outlet, and Taj didn't see the outlet or didn't see the pressure coming. And or he felt the pressure threw off his back foot, and had Sammy coming right underneath. So that was what happened.
2 turnovers in the first 4 games, and then 11 in the last.
Yeah.
One. You guys made the guys aware of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's those type of turnovers, back-to-back turnovers by your best players. Essentially, the guys that you're trying to get your playmakers, you're trying to get the ball to, on back-to-back. I mean, it's a thankfully our defense was playing well and has been playing well enough to hold them to field goals. We put them in bad situations. You're not going to win many games doing that. You get lucky on those type of situations. And again, going back and studying it, the ball's put away, the ball's tucked away, and they did a really good job of trying to strip the ball. They actually had 2 more out earlier in the game by stripping them. And it's just we talk about it every day, we chart it every day, and that's just something you got to keep on emphasizing, and hopefully it runs its course.
Chad, last week
Mm-hmm.
sat here and challenged everybody on offense except maybe Brandon Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Sammy was the only one, but it was pretty evident that Sammy kind of took that challenge and kind of showed it on the field. Is that just the kind of person he's been this year, and the way he's kind of stepped up his game, maybe a little bit over last year?
Well, I think they all met the challenge. Yeah. I mean, it's it was one of the things that we talked about to our guys was, you have to be mentally tough. You have to be a tough person to play this game. And when you say tough, yeah, it's one thing being out there and being able to line up and knock them off the ball for a yard. Yeah, that's tough. But tough is these guys walking to their cars after the game last Saturday night, and there's not too many people out there. That's tough. And one of the things you really stress to the players is tough times don't last, but tough people do. And so really challenged all our guys. And they all stepped up. I was very proud of each and every one of them to be able to go up there and come away with a win. Is there things we can do better? Absolutely. Is there things that we can coach harder on? Absolutely. Did Sammy Watkins elevate his game this past week, as did a lot of other guys? Absolutely. And I think we all know what Sammy has brought to this program and his playmaking ability. And we're extremely excited to see that and see that the level that he's playing at right now.
Obviously the talent for Sammy was always there from the first time he got on campus. What little things have you seen this year, even from the Georgia game until now, where he's gotten just incrementally better?
Well, just his ability to be moved all over the field and be able to understand what we're trying to do, understand coverages. He's doing a good job of reading coverages. And just taking the ability, whether we put him in the backfield, we line him up in a slot, wherever we put him at, he's adjusting and adapting to that. So I think that's a big plus for him.
Where's the line where maybe you and Coach Scott have to say, okay, he's got so much ability that he came here with that we just have to, there's a line we have to approach where we can't let him not be Sammy? No, and that's a great question. I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about, you can't overload them, and so I think we've done a good job to this point. I think we've got to do a better job right now is developing, making sure with Adam Humphreys behind him and Mike Williams and Martavius Bryant, which I thought Martavius probably played one of his best games because he played well and played fast without the ball. And I was very proud of that. So I think it's important for us to develop that number 2 and number 3 receiver behind Sammy to take the pressure off of Sammy. And Adams obviously evolved into that guy. But Martavius and Mike being that next guy there, so those are the challenges that we have, and from a game planning standpoint, that's what makes it fun.
How important was Saturday's performance, do you think, for Hot Rod, kind of psychologically, maybe kind of get him going? Yeah,
I think it was, again, for all of them. I think we're going to have to run the football throughout the course of the remainder of 4 games, to be effective. We can't put it all on Taj and Sammy and or Adam. I mean, our backs have got to do a good job of taking what they give us and being able to pick up positive yards, and maybe when there's nothing there.
Has Martavis taken that jump to be more consistent, especially to open up the offense when it maybe is more of a grind?
He has, and he's been very active in practice, and it means something to him, and that's really good to see. I mean, obviously his performance has showed that, and charting their efforts in practice, charting their efforts in the game, and I've said it a million times, and I'll continue to say it. It's what you do without the ball that's more important than what you do with the ball. So.
Yeah, there are so many numbers and statistics that you can break down in the red zone and all over. How do you, as a play caller, as a guy who runs this offense, how do you measure improvement in this offense? I mean, do you strictly look at yards per game, points on the scoreboard? I mean, how do you? What's success to you?
Score.
Yeah.
Bottom line, did you score? You can cut it like you want to. You can dissect it like you want to. Did you score? All them yards, they don't mean anything to me. Did we score? Are we putting points on the board when we have opportunity to put points on the board? And so that's the number 1 thing, and the number 2 and the number 3 and all that. But so did you score? Yes, we want every drive to end with a kick, and we preach that. If every drive this year starts and ends with a kick, or ends with a kick, you're going to win a lot of games, whether that's a punt, a PAT, or a field goal. But you obviously want more PATs than you do anything else. So We've just, again, we've been really good in the red zone offense around here, really good. And we've for whatever reason, it hadn't, it just, we've come away with some field goals and so those are some things that we got to go back and make sure that we're not having any breakdowns in that area. And then the next thing is obviously is how is our tempo? Are we playing fast? And if so, okay, how fast? Can we play faster? They had to line up and play 102 snaps the other day. Obviously, we got credited for 98, but we snapped the ball 102 times, and that's so we're playing fast, and so now we just got to go score. If we score on the first drive, the second drive, and even the third one, it's a whole different ball game. And you're not seeing Taj and Sammy and those guys late in the game. It's just not happening. But it didn't happen that way, and there's a reason for that, and it's probably a good reason because it's going to force our guys to, again, battling adversity. And you can coach as hard as you want, you can get on as hard as you want, but until you get into a true adverse situation with guys, you never truly find out who and what people are about. So we've been able to see some adversity over the last few weeks, and we've been able to find out a lot about ourselves. And I think you can't help but believe it's only going to help you as you grow through the rest of these next 4 weeks, because we all know, what are we? We're 7-1. Yeah, it's not the first 8 games we're going to be remembered by, and we're setting up now as a time for a November to remember, and that's where you're going to leave your legacy in the month of November. So all that stuff prior to this is just getting us ready for this final stretch run, and I'm excited about it. It's a great challenge for us, and going into Virginia this week is going to be a huge challenge for us to win again on the road, because they're coached too. They're coached well. They watch film, and they're going to be ready for us. I can tell you that.
Any concern at all for Taj, just because of the, seems like after the NC State game, he wasn't having fun, then he started having fun, was playing better, now we're kind of back to him not having fun again.
Well, I think he's having fun. I mean, obviously the fun is in the winning. I mean, we're all, when you're winning, you're having fun. I think just the emphasis is just to take the pressure off yourself, man. Let these other guys help you out. And, that's the biggest thing. No, I think Taj will sit right here and tell you he's having fun. It's just, he puts a lot of undue pressure on himself. That it?
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
Simple enough.